Castlevania is an action platformer published by the yet-to-be-despised Konami. It released in Japan in 1986 under the title Akumajo Dracula, before coming to Western audiences in 1987 and 1988, America and Europe respectively, retitled Castlevania due to religious connotations and the fact that we don't know what an Akumajo is. You play as a man with both the mild-mannered name of an accountant and also one that could kill you, Simon Belmont, Vampire Slayer. Just to be clear, Vampire Slayer is his title, it's not his last name. Simon is the mild-mannered accountant name, Belmont is the killing one, Vampire Slayer is just what he does. Depicted here in his totally suitable vampire killing outfit, he shows up to Dracula's castle to, well, I just told you Simon Belmont is a slayer of vampires and Dracula is a vampire. Actually, he's king or lord of the vampires, so you can probably imagine he's gonna slay. So if you've never played Castlevania before and you're thinking of going in for some monster whipping action, this is the beginner's guide to Castlevania. Sorry, we'll get back to it in a minute. I just heard that in my head. When I said beginner's guide to Castlevania, it sounds like you're the beginner in the scenario. What I actually meant was I've actually never played Castlevania before, so this is a beginner's guide to Castlevania. So the beginner is me. Presumably you too, because why would you be watching a beginner's guide to Castlevania if you didn't want to learn how to play the game? The point is, I'm the beginner. So this whole video is a bit pointless, really. Give it a like. If you're like me and you're more used to the games of today, you'll have become accustomed to things like tutorials or games being generally narratively based, with challenge taking more of a backseat, and it being more about the whole experience. Back then though, a game was designed to do one thing: make you cry. Castlevania is not only no exception to the rule, but is known for being especially brutal. For reasons which we will get to as we go on, but just know in general this game wants to do that thing where they tap you on the opposite shoulder of where they actually are, making you turn to someone who isn't there, making you look like a bloody fool. That doesn't actually sound that bad, and it meant to sound worse. Let me try again. It wants to kick you in your dick. So just to get into the basics of the combat, Simon has a whip. You can upgrade the whip to make it even more whippy. He also has items that he can pick up on the way, which seems simple, right? Well, look at you being all wrong, bless you, and your wrong socks. Wrong. Because what you'll notice is that the whip has a slight delay to it. This is a cool level of detail on the game's part, as in real life it's not immediate. You see the whip being drawn back and cracked. This also serves as the first immediate challenge of the game, feeling out the weight of the character, how he moves, how the enemies react around him. It's easy to see this and say that it's stupid and archaic, and you're not technically wrong, because games don't really do this anymore, at least as far as side-scrollers are concerned. Games like GTA are implementing realistic walk cycles that has a slight delay, but anyway, we're getting sidetracked by walking. The point is, the game has this, and you're just going to have to get used to it if you want to be successful as a scantily clad vampire slayer. I know, it's confusing, as every other game in the history of games has used hearts as a means of gaining life. And oh, here comes Castlevania, who not only changes what health is, but they actively change what the hearts mean. So just know when you're picking up the big old hearts every 2 seconds thinking you're invincible, that's not health, that is item usage. Those items I mentioned earlier, to use them will cost you a certain amount of hearts. So you're going to want to make sure you have plenty because of the first point that I made. This game is dick-kickingly hard. You're also going to want to pick them wisely because there are some enemies in the game that are almost impossible to beat if you don't pick up the right ones. Also, health is wall beef. Yum. With what we've covered so far, you'll need some enemies to put your newfound moves against. Help! No! Help! Back! God! Back! Fuck them all, I hate them, and they can and should always fuck off.
Medusas.
These floating twats are the bane of my existence. When it shows up, know you're going to have a hard time. Whether it's a flat surface or, God forbid, a platforming section, there will be death. And it will be yours, because the knockback when you get hit is bloody terrible. Maybe this wouldn't happen if you had some bloody pants on, Simon.
Fleaman.
I take it back. These are the bane of my existence. There's no pattern with these things. They will jump all over the place, they will go high, they will go low, depends on how it feels, but Mr. Belmont did not sign up for this shit! Especially when these things start dropping them from the sky. It's hell. The only way to get past this is to die and learn from your mistakes. Okay, whip, and why is it coming from behind now?
Skeletons.
These are fine for the most part. Just whip them in between them, chucking their unlimited skelly bones, and they'll either die again, or these red ones can take a whipping all the livelong day. Fine.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.
The rest are challenging too, but the Medusas and the Fleamen are the worst, as they can easily be thrown in with hallways already filled with normal, easier enemies. Fuck you both. But no amount of frustration will prepare you for this next part. I warn you, if you are prone to fits of rage or openly weeping in public, turn back now. The Reaper is not fun. Not just the boss fight itself, but before the fight you have to get through this hallway. The hallway is also not fun, and it's tense, and it's frustrating when you finally get past it and breathe that sweet, sweet sigh of relief, and then, immediately after you fight the Reaper, and when he kills you, which he will, back we go, try again. Try again, and try again. Make sure you pick this thing up, otherwise you might as well jump off the top of the castle. And that's it, that's all the advice I can offer. There is one more thing. One last sprinkling of advice I can give you on your journey to Castlevania. Some of you won't like it. I know, but you know what? I regret nothing. I told you at the beginning, I'm used to a challenge taking a back seat. There's only so much challenge I can take. Octodad, that's my limit.
Oh no, I didn't.
Come on, get in there. Get in there.
Come on, Jim.
Fucking keyhole. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little sissy who can't complete Castlevania on his own. I admit it, and I'm not ashamed. But if you want to survive and get to the end in under a day, this is the way. The only way. This is a beginner's guide to Castlevania. The beginner has spoken. Save states are king. Castlevania is brutal, but it's great. It somehow manages to create an atmosphere with what little it has. The sense of scale is abundantly clear as you climb higher and higher, seeing the world outside through the cracks and the ruins, the challenge increasing as you slowly manage to beat the end level bosses. In Nosferatu, you just beat them up with your fists, and they didn't pose a threat, but here they are genuinely scary in terms of difficulty. I'm not scared of this. Some stairs and other details are hidden in the background, and it can take you a second to realise it's here, like this oh fuck, it's a boss! This isn't bad level design. I believe this is done on purpose as an attempt to create an atmosphere of discovery and getting lost in this castle. Castlevania's music is perfect. It would have been impossible to carry on without these tracks pushing you to go further. Even the sound design. The sound when you land a hit has so much weight to it. It feels good. Even when you're fighting the hardest bosses, when you land a hit, it makes you feel like you've got this, until you don't. But then you try again and you land more hits, and then you die again. But then the music spurs you on, and you land all the hits, and he's so close to dying, and then you die again. But it sounds good. The game is absolutely worth playing. Its DNA is still visible in games today, and you can chip away at it when you've got a spare 10 minutes or so, but I guarantee you will play it for longer. I had fun, and I had fun. I had fun. Fun. I had fun. No, I didn't. Don't buy it.